Greetings and welcome to Chant a Psalm a Day. We about to go in hard. Okay, the psalm today, I want to ask that the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of the Most High. Always, all the time, we begin by surrendering our own understanding to that of what is higher than our understanding. We may not be able to reach that, but we can try by chanting a psalm, building our relationship with this supreme higher being that created I and I in the image of goodness and love and compassion and righteousness and all the good stuff that makes our bodies healing and strong. And I send healing vibes out there to everyone, healing vibes to everyone. Please pardon this shower cap on my head. I know, but I just got up and I am getting ready to go to class to teach. So I got to do this early, and I got to do this now. So we're gonna get started, and I'm not gonna digress into all these other topics. But I always, when I chant the psalm, I always look at where we are today in this world and how important it is for us to look at the events in the world, look at our lives, and try to, have it in alignment with righteousness and goodness and love and compassion and all of the things that heal our bodies. And it may be hard, however, we are chosen. We have been chosen for goodness and chosen for righteousness. And the psalm today talks about the precious, steadfast love of God, right? How the steadfast love of the Most High. And when you look at the word steadfast, and I need to define this for everyone, steadfast, it's resolutely or dutifully firm and unwavering. So, people waver, they're like, oh, I don't want to do this. I do it myself. But this being steadfast in something, you resolve and you're dutifully firm and unwavering in your actions. So in the psalm today, the steadfast love, I look at it in terms of the Most High is resolutely and dutifully firm and unwavering in that love. Okay, people's love may fall away. Human beings, have a tendency sometimes, and I've have experience. I've been on this earth long enough to have been hurt by folks, and cast off by folks who say they love you, but then something else in their actions doesn't show that. So the steadfast love of the Most High is powerfully greater than any love that is on the earth. And we talk about agape love, that is God's love, that is overpowering and overshadows all love. That's why we have to put God first, right? When we put God first, our relationships are going to get stronger. Our relationships at home, at school, at work, in the community, they're going to get stronger because we are putting this righteousness and compassion and mercy and love that's defined as God first. Okay, that's why there's so much war in the world, because of religious wars. And this one wants to talk about God in this way and serving God in this way, and other people want to serve God in this. It's like, wait a minute, everybody has their personal relationship, so we should not ostracize anyone in that way. Like I said yesterday, people call different names. Those names have maybe helped them throughout their life, and that's the name they want to call, and that's what they want to do. Why should I persecute somebody or crucify someone. The crucifixion and all that has happened. Stop it. We don't need to crucify folks. We don't need to put folks on the firing squad and do these things. This is harmful. We serve a God that has come to give life and give it in abundance. Okay, so why should we want to hurt or destroy someone when we serve a Most High that is about love? So let's get into this psalm. The psalm today is 36, so you can take out your little psalm books and you can follow along as I translate the psalm into words of liberation, taking out the pronouns and putting in the original word that was supposed to be there. So all the he, him, you, they, them, all of that is taken out, and we put in what that original is. So remember, the Bible was translated by a slave master, okay? And the slave master's racist ideology is in here. So you have to look at the source. That's why I am making a journey to Ethiopia to look at the ancient texts, to go to St. Mary's Church and to look inside there at the Ark of the Covenant, to look at the ancient places Jesus walked. You know what I mean? To find these, because it's written to seek the Most High. Yes, we got work to do. We have jobs we got to do. But in those places, we can still be seeking the Most High. Have your little psalm book. Have your little scripture next to your office desk or something, and always pick that up and seeking for the Most High. And what you're seeking for that mercy, that goodness. And in that seeking, you are being merciful. You are being kind. So it's important for you to, on the journey of your building your relationship with the Most High, you're seeking in your actions, the way that you treat people, how you interact with folks, and how you deal with difficult challenges in your life. Remember, Psalm yesterday talks about anger, and anger doesn't serve the Lord, so we have to try, and it's okay to be angry, but we're not going to go sin. You have that feeling. And remember, the word yesterday was feelings. We have to honor our feelings, honor them. Yeah, I feel this way, and this is how I feel, and I'm going to honor that. So many times, women have to hide their feelings because they have to take care of the house, they have to take care of the children, they have to take care of the job, they got to take care of the husband, they got so much to do. And their feelings are oftentimes not, valued. I am going to share with you all gaslighting. There's 20 different things that people say to you that are about gaslighting. And gaslighting is, when you are falsely putting someone in a light that's not what they're about, because they're sharing feelings. You're gaslighting them, telling them what their feelings are not valid. So when we look at, these different psychological things in our world, as humans, we are weak. We have this weakness. And sometimes, we can get into, gaslighting and not realize that's what we're doing. So the Most High's precious, steadfast love is real. It's real, okay? And this is a psalm to the choir master of David, the servant of the Lord. So David, is deep in this psalm, Psalm 36. And I had a friend in college named David, very kind man, very kind young man, helped me in my journey of realizing that I am valued, and I am precious, and I'm worthy of being alive. And so David in this Psalm 36, begins with verse 1 and talks about the wicked. Transgression speaks to the wicked. And when we define transgression, it's an act that goes against a law, a rule, or code of conduct, an offense. So transgression could be you're lying, you're cheating, you're stealing, you're, killing someone, you're hurting someone. You're going against the righteousness of the Most High. You're going against the rules of the house. I have rules, and, you come to my home, this is the rule, you don't like it, goodbye. So transgression is this code of action, the code of behavior, your behavior. And transgression is an offense. You offended someone because either you lied and you were caught, in this lie, or you have stolen something. You have gone against the law of righteousness, basically. So transgression is, can happen to any of us. And the Most High in this psalm is talking about the transgression, breaking the law, is speaking to the wicked, deep in the wicked's heart. Okay, so transgression speaks to the wicked, deep in the wicked's heart. And that's what the wicked does. They break the law. They do not hold up truth. They're not truth seekers. They're not truth tellers. They transgress. And that transgression is speaking to the wicked. They may be good people, right? Innately, we're all good. However, when we depart from the laws of the Most High and from the code of behavior we're supposed to be upholding, we turn into wickedness, right? So that's why David is speaking in verse 1 that transgression speaks to the wicked, deep in the wicked's heart. And the wicked does not fear God before the wicked's eyes. They're like, okay, I'm gonna lie, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do wrong, because I'm not afraid of nothing. I'm not afraid of God. If I lie to you, I'm gonna be still here, right? So it's very important, people, to remember you do not want to be on the side of the wicked, okay? You don't want this transgression to be deep in your heart where everything you speak of is a lie and your word doesn't mean anything to anyone anymore. Nobody wants anything you say is like, okay, that person is a liar. I don't believe nothing they say because they already done lied so many times. So when a person does this and breaks the law, there is no fear of God. The fear of God begins with you acknowledging your behavior, like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to do that because God is watching. But people have so far away from God. And you know why that is? Because they have replaced God with idols. They've replaced God with all these different things that can't see, hear, talk, or do nothing. And these idols they've replaced God with has separated them from God. So they don't fear God anymore. They have this idea that God is not before, there's no fear of God before their eyes. And oh my goodness, I fear God to the point when I see trash on the ground, I want to get a trash bag and pick it up. That's how much I'm like, wait a minute, remember, the earth, the Most High is the earth's rightful ruler. And this earth has been given to us. It's a gift we have to take care of. So in the Most High's sight, the wicked is wicked, and transgression, breaking the law, speaks to the wicked. And deep in the wicked's heart, there is no fear of God before the wicked's eyes. Verse 2, for the wicked flatters himself in his own eyes, that the wicked's inequity cannot be found out and hated. So the wicked is always, oh, I'm not wrong. I ain't do this. I ain't do that. And I swear on my mom, whatever, I swear. And they go on into this whole thing, flattering themselves in their own eyes. that their evilness that they're doing, lying and killing and all this foolishness, can be found out and disliked. They don't want to be disliked, so they keep flattering themselves in their own eyes. I ain't do that. And what, me? I didn't take that. And lying completely in your face. So in verse 3, the words of the mouth of the wicked are trouble and deceit, and the wicked has ceased to act wisely and do good. Okay. The wicked stop doing good. The words of the wicked mouth are trouble. Okay. And deceit. Deceit is lying. You know, you open your mouth and you're telling a lie. Wait a minute. So you have not been raised to know the fear of God. And we have somebody from Dubai. I am from the Caribbean. I'm from the U.S. Virgin Islands via Ethiopia. So that's where I'm from. And it doesn't matter where you're from, where you are in the world. It is all the same. We have a common humanity. And that common humanity is love, righteousness, kindness, mercy, compassion. So when we share that as humans. However, the psalm is talking about the wicked in terms of what they're doing. Their transgression is speaking to them in their heart, right? And they don't fear the Most High before their eyes. They have no fear of the Most High. And they're flattering themselves in their own eyes and, having this idea that their inequity, that their lies can be found out. Nobody's going to find out that I lied and I took something that I wasn't supposed to take. They don't want to be found out and disliked, so they lie. And the words of the wicked's mouth are trouble and deceit. And the wicked has ceased to act wisely and to do good. And in verse 4, it gets even specific. The wicked plots trouble while on their bed. And the wicked sets themselves in a way that is not good. And the wicked does not reject evil. They love it. They're like, oh, I want to do that. Oh, what? Killing? Oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be violent. And the Most High abhors the violent man, woman, and child. The Most High doesn't love violence. And that's what the devil does, sneak in all these violent things. It's just a game. Okay. To keep thinking that, making yourself not, want to be found out and disliked. And so we as humans justify the evilness that's in the world that we invite into our homes. Okay? So I reject it. I reject evil. I reject the foolishness, and I reject the trouble and deceit. I reject that. I rebuke it. Okay. And someone is asking if I believe in Jesus. Jesus is love. Okay. I believe in love. The name, that name, I may speak that name and I may speak it in the ancient way, Yeshua. Okay. Because you got to remember the enslavement of Africans. This was used to enslave. Okay, religion in itself was used as a tool to enslave people. Okay, so I translate that enslavement and I bust the bonds of the chains. Okay, because when Jesus rose up again, he rose up in a new name. Okay, he rose up in a new name because he had a rebirth. He had what we call a resurrection. When you're resurrected, the former things are past. Now you are in that new birth. Okay. So it's okay if you want to use that name, Jesus. I respect that. However, I know in my relationship with the Most High that the Most High has a new name. And it's okay. You don't have to believe that. But I know, I don't believe, because believe is a lie. You see the word lie is set in that word, believe, Lie. I don't believe. I have to know in my soul, in my heart, in my mind that love is going to win. It's not about this name is higher than that name and people fighting for that name and this church don't like that church. No, it's not about that. It's about coming together in mercy, compassion, kindness. If you dive deep into those names, that's what you're going to find. You're going to find love and kindness. So why are we ostracizing folks because they're calling Allah or they're calling Jehovah or they're calling Selassie the first? What? Stop it. So in verse 5, David now speaks of the steadfast love. After David in verse 1 to 4 talks about the wicked, David goes deep in there about the wicked, okay? Now, some of you out there might see yourself in verse 1 to 4. Check yourself, right? Verse 5 now talks about the Most High steadfast love extends to the heavens. And we saw when we looked up in the heavens, we saw the solar eclipse. We saw the mystical show of the Most High, right? So that steadfast love extends to the heavens. The Most High could have made something happen on the earth where all of us are finished, done for. But the Most High saved us again with the signs in the heavens, because the Most High steadfast love extends to the heavens and the faithfulness to the clouds. When I'm up on the plane and I'm seeing the clouds, I'm like, wow, that's faithful. The Most High is keeping the earth faithfully okay and taken care of, right? Because at any moment, the Most High has the power to make this earth spin out into oblivion and we're all, suffering. No, the Most High's love is so kind and so powerful that it extends to the heavens and the faithfulness to the clouds. So in verse 6, your righteousness is as mountains of God. So the righteousness is compared to the mountains of God, and the judgments of the Most High are as the great deep. Now, I just saw a movie. It's called, what is it called? No Way Up, where the plane goes deep into the water. It crashes and it's deep. It's sinking deep into the water. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. I'm looking at the judgments of the Most High are deep. Man and beast, the Most High saves. Just as I mentioned earlier that we have been saved. The solar eclipse was a sign. It was a big sign that we are saved. Now we need to go and sin no more. We need to put God first, right? We need to put God first in our lives. And when we do that, we're going to be good. We're going to be good. So the judgments of the Most High are compared to the great deep ocean. And the steadfast love of the Most High is compared and extends to the heavens. Just as the righteousness is as the mountains. The righteousness is compared to the mountains. You remember Psalm 121. I lift up mine eyes to the hills. From where come my strength? So that strength, that righteousness is as the mountains. And when you have righteousness, you're strong because you can combat the foolishness. That righteousness is steadfast and you're standing firm in it, right? You're standing firm in that righteousness. So when wrongness comes your way, you're like, hey, righteousness, goodness and mercy are the Most High, and every goodness comes from that. So you're not going to be moved or shaken when adversity comes your way, or when a challenge comes. You're like, I'm gonna face this challenge. Like I had to submit an application yesterday, and I'm like, I gotta edit it, and I faced the challenge with righteousness. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna do this with goodness, and I completed it. I submitted it. Now it's in their hands to tell me what I need else to do, right? So when we look at how the Most High saves man and animals. The Most High saved man, human beings, and animals yesterday or the day before on the Monday for the eclipse. Saved us. So I'm thankful, because people looking up in the sky and they something else could have happened, right? But the Most High saved us on Monday. So in verse 7, we look at again how precious is the steadfast love of God. How precious, very precious. And the children take safety in the shadow of the Most High's wings. That is so beautiful. I can see an artist rendering of that, where there's the Most High's wings, the children are hovered in, right? And they're made safe in the shadow of the Most High's wings. And not even in the Most High's wing, but the shadow of it. So that speaks volumes in terms of just the shadow is going to protect you, right? And in verse 8, it talks about they feast on the abundance of your house. Who is they? And you give them drink from the river of your delights. Who is you and who is your delight? So let's translate that. The children are feasting on the abundance of the Most High's house. And the Most High gives them drink from the river of the Most High's delights. Right? So the children in the house, they're going to feast on the abundance of the Most High's house. And that's why I'm building a house for the Most High. Bottom line, as I get up in age, I want a home where the Most High can be welcome to come into. There's no violence, there's no dead. It's all about life and joy, right? And I want to build that. So when I look at verse 8, they feast, the children of mankind take safety in the shadow of the Most High's wings, and the children of mankind feast on the abundance of the Most High's house. And the Most High gives the children of mankind drink from the river of the Most High delights. Okay? Verse 9, for with the Most High is the fountain of life. And in the Most High's light do I and I see light. Check that out. That's powerful. Drop the mic, man. That is powerful, because the Most High is a fountain of life. Remember I said Jesus came to give you life in abundance. Then Jesus didn't come to kill folks or to destroy folks. Jesus came to give you life in abundance. So if you're in a position in your life where you don't feel that, you really need to check out what's going on around you in your life, what you're doing, what people around you are doing, and you've been chosen. So sometimes we are placed with people who are not chosen to show an example of what it is to be chosen. And sometimes we may get fought down. People might say, oh, you think you're above everyone. It's like, no, I'm not above everyone else. Everyone else can have this joy and this fountain of life that's given freely. It's up to you to take it. And when you take that, you are renouncing wickedness. You are renouncing this inequity. You're renouncing hate. You're renouncing trouble and plotting trouble. You're renouncing all these things and you're rejecting evil. So in verse 9, we see how that when you are bonded with the Most High, when you have that solid relationship, I told someone yesterday, you talk to the Most High like that's your home guy, that's your home girl. You communicate with the Most High. Oh my goodness, this is what I'm feeling. This is how I see things. This person is doing this. Oh my goodness. You pouring it out. You're talking and communicating to the Most High, building that relationship. So you can see the light, because the Most High is a light. And in that Most High's light, I and I will see light. But how can you see light of the Most High when you're bogged down with all these wickedness, these evil violence? It's going to be hard. You're going to be up, you're going to be in a quagmire in terms of, you love your loved ones, but they're going and they're transgressing. What do? You have to, gently you have to gently chastise them. Gently. Maybe you take away something like, oh, look, you're not getting this for a month because you didn't do that. You know what I mean? You have to put the rules down. Remember, the rules, when we talk about transgression, it's about breaking the rules. People who transgress are breaking the rules. And when people break the rules, there's consequences. And sometimes parents don't want to give children consequence. They love the children. Oh, they're so cute. Let them go. And then they grow up to be a hot mess. And it's like we have to train a child up in the way of the Lord. So when he gets bigger, he will always have that to fall on. So sometimes we raise children up in the Lord and they don't. They go astray and they go astray. They transgress. And they've forgotten because of the weakness of that physical body, the weakness of the human being. So you can talk and preach and talk, but if a child is set to do the wrong thing, they're going to do the wrong thing. You can try your best and stress yourself out, but if they're set to do the wrong, that's what they're going to do. And their actions and behaviors speak to that. So in verse 8, we see how the children are going to feast on the abundance of the Most High's house, and they're going to drink from the river of the Most High's delights. I love that. And in verse 9, this light of the Most High, and we have a fountain of life. So when people call Jesus, I'm going to call Jesus and translate Jesus as the fountain of life. In the name of the fountain of life, in the name of, Yeshua, Black Jesus. So I look at God as black, okay? And the reason is because God was made in my image, or I was made in God's image rather. Oh my goodness. I was made in God's image. God was made in we're alike. We mirror, you and God mirror each other. So if you're a white person or you're, you can look at God as white. That's fine, but don't impose that on me and tell me I must take this God, this white God that you are looking at as my God, because there is one God and one Most High, and that is the Black Most High, okay? And we don't want to, and in our society, remember I mentioned colonialism and capitalism got together, married, and had a child called white supremacy. So that has been blanketed all over the earth. That's why you see certain groups discriminating against Black people, okay? This month of April was celebrating Black History Month. It's Black Children's Month. So when we look at the power of, and then this is the last day of Ramadan. Ramadan is finishing up where people fast. They fast from food. I have a student in my class who is fasting, and she's like, I got a headache. She's ready to, that's a strong thing to do when you can fast and pray, okay, and go without food. With it gives you a strength inside. I did it for like 7 days, from a Friday to a Friday, and it was hard. The first 3 days was the hardest, and after the first 3 days, boom, it was good. You got all this energy. So I really admire the Islamic faith for being able to stay in their righteousness. Even though they're in this world, they can still fast. They can still practice their faith to the Most High, even though society has, labeled them as terrorists. And there's terrorists in the Christian religion. There's terrorists in the, in these other places, but they're not highlighted. They're going to highlight the Islamic, faith in that way, and going up into the mountains of Afghanistan and, all this stuff these people have done. So I transgress here, and and when I talk about transgress, I don't want to talk about it in a negative way. But it is transgression, falling away from the steadfast love of the Most High is that transgression. So I want to return on track. And thank you for writing in Arabic. I see somebody is on my live and they're writing in Arabic. I love that. It's such a beautiful language. Amharic is as well. So, the Ancient of Days, we're looking at the Ancient of Days. And in verse 10, it talks about, oh, keep on the Most High steadfast love to those who know. Because some is not going to know. You don't want to force people, right? So in verse 10, David is speaking of, keep on keeping on with the steadfast love of the Most High. The Most High is going to keep this steadfast love to those who know it. I receive it. I receive it. I receive it. Hey! That's another dog out there by the door, and he's in a twist. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Thank you. Now sit. 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 Okay. He's excited about the psalm too, y'all. So in verse 10, we oh, keep on the Most High steadfast love to I who know, and the Most High's righteousness to the upright in heart. Remember, the psalm started out with the wicked has transgression speaking to them deep in their heart. So David now in verse 10 is talking about the righteousness of the Most High is for the upright in heart. It's not for the wicked. The wicked doesn't have righteousness in their heart. Okay, they have, I don't know what they got in there, but it's not righteousness and goodness. And then in verse 11, let not the foot of arrogance come upon me. Let not the foot of arrogance, do not go barking out there. Come here. Do not let the foot of arrogance come upon me. Let's define arrogance real quick. Let me see if I have time. Yeah. Arrogance. Arrogance is a quality of being arrogant. And what is arrogant? Having or revealing an exaggerated sense of one's own importance or abilities. So it's an exaggerated sense of one's own importance. It's about yourself, That's what an arrogant person is. So David is like, don't let the foot of this person who is about themselves come upon I, nor the hand of the wicked drive I away. Okay? And in verse 12, this Psalm 36 ends with verse 12. There the evildoers lie fallen. Because that's what the evildoers do. They lie and they're going to fall. That's why I say burn the liar out. The liar is going to burn in the fire. And when you lie, guess what's going to happen behind that lie? You're going to be in turmoil. You're going to have unfavoring situations. So the evildoers lie fallen. They are thrust down, unable to rise. Oh my goodness. Drop the mic on that one. So I look at evildoers as liars, okay? You're gonna fall. And you know how they talk about a white lie, making a lie pure and good? Oh, it's just a white lie because the word white is looked at as pure and good and all this goodness. It says, wash me so I'm whiter than snow, the Bible talks about. And when we look at that, I'm like, that's evil. That's evil. That's the evil of white supremacy. Right there, talking about is just a white lie. And we got white collar crimes, right? It's a crime, but it's not that much of a crime because it's white. Like, really? Okay, white supremacy, get back, because you are part of the evil society, lying to folks about who God is, lying to folks and giving God a white man with blue eyes and blonde stringy hair, knowing that in Revelations, God is described as somebody with woolly hair, not stringy hair. Like, come on, don't give me a 6 for a 9 here, folks. So the evildoers are gonna lie fallen. That's why Babylon has fallen, because it's an evil, lying, wicked place. I don't want it in my house. I don't want that in my home, right? So because the evildoers are going to be thrust down and they're going to be unable to rise. They're going to stay low. Like, you better lay low, wickedness. You better stay low, because that's where you're going to go. You're not going to rise up to be anything in life because you're wicked and evil and lying. Stop it. Build a relationship with the Most High today. Today. I charge everyone out there who's listening to this live, go build your relationship with the Most High. Go seek the Most High's face. I saw his face. You see that picture right above my head? That's the face that is revealed to me. Okay? I seek the Most High's face. I refuse the slave master's names and labels and gods. I refuse it. Just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was like, I'm not bowing to your God. What, are you kidding? No way, Jose. Put me in the fire then. Because I have faith in my God so much that even in the face of death, God is with me. So whatever you do to me, you can't do nothing. You can take away my flesh. My family's going to be unhappy and sad. But guess what? I'm still going to be with the Most High. So what can you do? You cannot stop love. You cannot stop righteousness. Righteousness is going to cover the earth as the water cover the sea, folks. Okay? It's going to cover the earth as the water cover the sea. Righteousness. So wickedness is going to be gone. Be gone. Get back. Okay? The foot of the arrogant is not going to come upon me. And the hand of the wicked, nor the hand of the wicked, is going to drive me away, because I am going to be steadfast in the love of the Most High. Bottom line. And that is the Psalm 36. Psalm 36. And the daily word today is love. We need more love in the world. Okay, I name my dog Respect because we need more respect in the world. He's going to get a little girlfriend and her name is Love. We need more love in the world. So today's word is world peace. I don't use peace. Peace is the diploma you get in the cemetery. Okay, rest in peace. I don't use peace. I want love. See how the devil sneaks in things? So love begins with me. It begins with I and I. So in the words today from dailyword.com, if you have your little booklets, you can take it out to today, April 10th. I imagine and hold the highest vision of a world at love, where kindness, compassion, and standing firm in righteousness among all people prevail. In my communication to God, in that time of communication to God, I visualize everyone having easy access to everything they need to live in love. Love. Okay, love. I don't need a violent video game to live in love. I don't need meat in the freezer to live in love. I don't need, quarreling to live in love. That's what I need is love. I commit to being an emissary of love in I home and community. In the stillness of I life, I listen for guidance and then go forth to do what is mine to do. I keep on asking, how can I be a presence of love? Instead of focusing on what is wrong, I give I and I attention to life affirming thoughts, creative ideas, and ways I can be an instrument of love. I and I thoughts, words, and works are loving. I bring love with I and I wherever I and I go. With the light of faith, I affirm love, be still. So this word is supported by Hebrews chapter 12, verse 14. Pursue love with everyone, and the happiness without which no one will see the Lord. So if you don't have happiness and love, you're not going to see God. God is not going to reveal God's self to you. So pursue love with everyone. It doesn't matter if it's the janitor, the custodian, somebody who has a menial job, or somebody, even a homeless person sitting on the street. Pursue love with everyone. And it talks about the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. So if you don't have happiness, I don't use holiness, I use happiness, because holy is happy, happy, happy. So happiness, once you have that, you will see the Lord. You will see the Most High. Hebrews 12:14. Okay. And when we look at Hebrews 12:14, it's about love. Love is the whole entire key here for this theme of the psalm. And then the verse of the day, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. That's the word of the day. Romans 5:8. You see, at just the right time, when we were still powerless, Christ died for the ungodly. Very rarely will anyone die for a righteous person, though for a good person, someone might possibly dare to die. But God demonstrates his own love for I and I in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for I and I. That is so sweet and powerful. And I give thanks to the Most High for the sacrifices that were given for me to be here today and to have a mind that is functioning. I give thanks to the Most High every single minute of my life. And it's so powerful, it makes you want to weep with joy. It's powerful. When you know someone has sacrificed for you like no other on this world, it's powerful. So here go my ugly cry. And it's a weeping for joy. It's a weeping for the realization that I have been bountifully blessed. And it's overwhelming, because I look at myself as I don't deserve to be here. So many things could have happened to me in my life, but I was saved for this day. I was saved to give to mankind, to humankind, to children, the joy and the compassion and the mercy that was given to me. I'm returning it now. So I'm going to be that light that was lighted my way. The light that gave me, that lighted my way. I'm going to return to those and be a light to those who are in despair, who are in depression, who have anxiety, who are going through turmoil in their life. I want to be that light, because I was once in that turmoil. And the Most High saved me to be a light, to be a stronghold in this time. So I'm serving, and I surrender. I surrender to that gracious Most High. I surrender to the righteousness, to the mercy, to the love, to the kindness. I surrender. And I give myself full-heartedly, not wholeheartedly, but full-heartedly to the mission of Suradokna, of in doing good, Sotames Gana, to give thanks and to look at everyone as a child of the Most High. Here ends the psalm for today. This has been the word of the Most High. and I give thanks. As we end, I will look at Max Lucado real quick because we're almost at the end of my time. And Max Lucado is talking about your gift. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. Your gift. I am the light of the world. The person who follows me will never live in darkness, but will have the light that gives life. This is from the book of John, chapter 8, verse 12. Isn't that really amazing to end on? And Max Lucado talks about, he has a commentary here. He says, an inherent and an internant preacher from Nazareth can do something for the hurt that is in your heart. Maybe you're trying to rebuild an estranged relationship. Maybe you've been trying to find God for longer than you can remember. There is something about this Nazarene preacher that made people cluster around him like he was God's gift to humanity. He is your gift as well. That is beautiful. Thank you for joining. I really do thank you for subscribing to my channel. For those of you who subscribed and for those of you who like this video, thank you so much. May the Most High bless you, keep you, and give you grace. Give thanks as we end with Chant a Psalm a Day. Steel Pulse, I want to meet you, Steel Pulse, because this song, Chant a Psalm, is credited to you from the album True Democracy, released in 1982. Thank you, Steel Pulse. Thank you, and thank you for your wonderful Chant a Psalm music. Music is the healing, and reggae is the healing of the nations. I'm telling you. So let's hear it. Have a blessed day, everyone. Thanks for listening. Go chant a psalm a day.